Good morning. Today is Thursday, June the 11th, 2020. 1 Thessalonians 4:13 says, "But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that you sorrow not, even as others which have no hope." On April the 16th, 1999, my wife of almost 42 years passed away. For 2 years before that, we went to every major medical facility in Florida. We saw over a dozen doctors. We saw chiropractors. We saw psychiatrists. We saw psychologists. We saw hypnotists. We saw acupuncturists. We had every test run that you can imagine, and yet no one could tell us what was wrong with her. Her body just shut down. Mentally, she was sharp mentally, but her body just became so she couldn't use it. Then on April 16th, she just passed away. Now, I said all that to say this. If you just recently lost a loved one, maybe a spouse, or a child, or a parent, or maybe a good friend, I don't know exactly how you feel, but I do know what you're going through. You're going through the process we call grieving. Grieving, it has been said, is not like a wound that will heal. It is like an amputation that you have to learn to live without. And the grieving process is the process we go through to learn to live without our loved one. Now, grieving is not for the one that's died. Grieving is for us. We're the ones that something has been stolen from, taken away from. Now, there are some steps or some stages that people go through in grief. For instance, the first reaction we have is disbelief. This can't be happening. This is not real. This can't be happening, and we can't accept it. Then we may go through a stage of guilt. Oh, if I only had, or I wish I had. But we have to work our way through that, because usually we've done everything we can, but we still maybe carry some grief, some guilt with us until we die. And then we go through a period of anger. We may be, surprisingly, we may be mad at the person that died for leaving us. Maybe some things undone, and we get angry about it. Or maybe we get angry at God. And may I tell you, it's okay to get angry with God, and you can tell him that, because he's our Father, and he understands what we're going through. Then there may be a time that we go through some depression. And may I say that during this period of time that you're going through, there will be moments of happiness, there will be moments of sadness. Sometimes you just cry, and you'll have good days, you'll have bad days. But you're going to work through it. Now then, we talked about losing an arm. How long does it take to go through the grieving process? Well, let me say this. How long will you miss your arm after it's cut off? Forever, until you die. And you'll miss that person until you die. But you learn to live without them. You learn to go on in life without them. Now, there are some things you need to do. You need to talk. You need to find someone, a friend, that you can talk to. Talk about the person that's died. Talk about your feelings. Now, you need to find someone that you trust, that can keep their mouth shut, because there'll be some things that you might want to say that you don't want anyone else to know. But you need to talk. You need to be around other Christian people. So you need to be in church. You need not to make any major decisions for a while, maybe a year before you make any major decisions, or maybe longer than that even. Now, this process, someone told me, you'll live through it, but you've got to go through it. Don't try to bypass the grieving process. Go through it and understand what's going on. Understand it's you missing the person and going on with life and learning to live without them. And if they were a Christian, you'll know that someday you'll see them. But most of all, you need to stay close to the Lord during this period of time. You need to stay in your Bible reading. You need to pray every day. You need to be in church all the time. And all of this will help you get through this time. So I hope that will help you a little bit if you've lost someone close to you recently. See you in the morning.